Morning, everyone. We're going to do some chores this morning. As you can see, we got a bunch of little... I don't even know how they get out, but they get out. Oh, they could have gone underneath the gate. Good morning, Luna. You say hi, Luna? Yeah, pretty little kitty Luna. All right, well, this morning, we're going to clean everything up. As you see, they like to make a mess. We're going to clean them all up, get them bedded, get them fed, and get them milked. And we're going to kind of explain the reason why we have buckets, the feed, as we go along the way. So first of all, I have to dump all these water buckets. We feed in the water buckets. They also have water bowls. As you will see over here, we have water bowls in the pens as well. So initially when we started, we always wanted just these bowls. They can play with these bowls and get water whenever they want, but they like warm water. Even in the hotter weather, they love warm water. They don't just like cold pond water or cold well water. It's not good for their systems to put them in a big shock with that cold water. So we give them warm water in these buckets 3 times a day, judging by the size of the pen as to how many buckets we have for each pen. Now, this pen's only got 5 goats. These are pregnant and dry, and are dry right now. And it's such a small pen. I don't have a water bowl for every pen because that's just my flaw in design of the barn. I should have put more water bowls for each pen. And these are also goats that we had picked up a couple weeks ago that are from an Amish farm. As you all know, Amish do not have power, so therefore they're not used to the power of the water coming out of the water bowl. They're used to it in a nice big gravity bucket. So that's why they also have that one there. Normally I would just have my dry goats on a bucket with a water bowl. And then of course this pen here, these were all chuck full last night when we did chores at 5 o'clock. Not much water left in there. That's how much they like the warm water. They also love that brush. Just goes around and around and around and around. And watch her as she rocks from side to side when it goes around. We'll see more of that later. But yeah, that's the reason why the water buckets, you will see them in various spots in the barn. The majority of the reason why we have the water buckets there. These are lactating goats. They're our milking goats. We want them to milk lots and lots of milk to their high potential. So therefore, that is why we have lots of water buckets in front of those specific goats. The salt blocks. Salt blocks are minerals. They love the salt blocks. As you can tell, they love to lick little holes all through the whole thing. They chew on wood and other materials for minerals, is what I've been told. So the more minerals you give them, the better. Then they just chew on the wood for fun. You just can't avoid it, I've been told, but at least you can limit how much they're going to do it, because they're going to chew it a lot if they need the minerals. If they don't, they're chewing it because they're bored, which the brush really helps with keeping them not bored. So yes, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to get all this cleaned up. We're going to sweep it up into piles, pick it up, feed it to our beautiful cows at the back on that side. Then we're going to chop our straw if we need to chop straw, which I believe, yeah, this pen over here, it needs to be chopped straw. So we're gonna show you how we chop some straw. And then when that's done, and we're all done making our mess, we take our leaf blower and we blow it all right clean so that it looks beautiful. And then we're able to start over with feeding our baleage, which you also see that we go pick up at my mom and dad's, because how we wrapped it, I don't have storage here at this farm for those big rows, but they have lots of room over there on their driveway for that. And then we feed pellet. Once they've been done milked, the pellet is to give them all the energy sources and stuff that you will not get from the baleage. A big one is vitamin E and selenium. That stuff is what's the word I'm looking for? It's just not in our soils around here, so we have to give that. Sometimes we add it in the feed, sometimes it's given through an injection. We only give that two times in a year. Is 2 weeks before we breed them, or when we breed them, and then right away after they've had their kids and we're milking them for the first time, they get their selenium shots then as well. But part of the pellet is to help build, so we take feed samples from this baleage. They take a nice sample, and they take this, they analysis it, and then tell us what we're lactating, protein, and fiber will be high. Protein and digestibility. The better digestibility, awesome, because then you can supplement protein. Protein generally, or from what I understand, gets better the longer you let the crop sit in the field, but then you lose digestibility, and goats need high digestibility stuff, or can process high digestibility fibers like the baleage better than, say, a cow can. We got these lights are on automatic. These lights are not. I gotta turn these lights on. And then we're going to see, this row's not near as mess. Only the other side for some odd reason all the time. So we're gonna get cleaning up. I'm also gonna turn the pre-rinse on for the wash. Wash all that milking equipment, sanitize it all nice and clean, so that people like you and me that buy the product from the store are buying a good, healthy product. Now some of you are going to ask, why did I dump the other buckets in the milk house, and these ones I'm dumping in this hole? I started out in this barn, it was just dirt floor 6 years ago, and everything that you see in here I have done. The reason why I dumped some in this bucket and some over there is because that was renovated first, and I never had an extra thing. And on this side, all the plumbing drains that I put in for the kid pens were over here in the feed area. And then we tried a drain in the pen to try to drain a lot more of the urine from the goats so that it wouldn't soak into the pack, so that we use less straw. It's not really working, but it's still there. But I had to put in a pump chamber to move all that, so therefore I have this pump out over here. It all goes to the same location, the lagoon. It's just, I have the two different pump chambers. I like this one more anyways. It's a bigger opening and it's a big hole. I don't have to slow the amount of water I gotta dump in if there's a significant amount of water, because my hole's not 2 inches small. It's a concrete chamber. It's actually an old catch basin that you would see on the side of the road. It's a big concrete basin that they take tile, they got tile inlets, and then the runoff from the road goes into it. This little manhole cover, nothing's gonna fall through it because, quite frankly, on your street, they're driving massive trucks over these. So I don't have to worry about my kids falling in, my mother, anybody that comes and visits, which there are lots of people that come to visit. I don't have to worry about anybody falling in when this is closed. Now that we have all the buckets in the milk house, we're gonna rinse them all out. The really dirty ones we're gonna wash with the rag. Get all that gunk out because, well, my theory is if I don't want to drink the water, why would they? So if I think it's clean enough that I'll drink out of it, then it should be good for them. probably asking, Eric, why did you sweep some that way and some into piles? Explanation for that. These little young yappers over here they're on a medicated pellet. The medication I cannot feed to lactating goats. It could affect their milk, which could affect the quality of milk. Not good. So I sweep them down to every kid here. They're on 2 different medications. This one is for the younger goats to help them not get sick. And down there, those ones there, they're on a different pellet that's more for beefing them up, making them grow nice and strong. That pellet is on a medication to help them not miscarry babies when they have their babies. A big thing with goats is stress. Stress will make them do different things. Examples of stress for the goats are moving them. This time of year, heat. Heat is a huge one. Too much heat, not good. For the goats, introducing billies when they get bred, that's something different. Any change in feed could cause stress if it's not good feed. Not nice bedding. If it's not nice and fluffy and poofy straw, they're not comfy. They're hot. Again, the heat, right? Now that's why we have fans to help try to cool them down. Those are all factors of stress that could cause them to miscarry their babies. So this pellet with the medication in it is to help them not miscarry even though they are stressed. It's to help build their system up. Now you say, Eric, why don't you feed that to all the goats? Not all the goats have that issue. It's most common that they will miscarry within I believe it's 60 days. 60 to 90 days. I'll get back to you more as to when that number is, but it's somewhere around there that's when it actually really needs to be fed to them. Now it's like $40 a ton, I think, for that medication, and I feed very little of it. Like, these goats don't get very much, so to medicate all of it in that feed bin doesn't really make that much of a difference on our bill as to why we feed it all the time versus the selected times. Also, it's hard with logistics to figure out when you need to buy it, when the bin needs to be empty to put the new stuff in. It's just lots of stuff to worry about that we just say we're not going to worry about that. We're just going to buy it all the time and only feed it to them when they need it. And that's why we have it. So this morning we're going to give you a little sneak preview, a little video about how we chop straw. I got this little pen here, not that big. I'm going to chop this, blow it all nice. You're going to notice that I'm going to be in the pen. That's because the chopper cannot blow all the way to the back of the pen. The pen's 15 feet. The curb is 6 inches. The chopper is not made to blow in this particular pen. It's made to blow in like a tie stall cow barn where the cows used to be tied up. They go behind and they blow the straw in. That's the type of chopper this was meant to do. That was what it was built to do. But it works really good for us. It's just I gotta give the straw a little bit of an effort to get to the back of the pen. So you're gonna see me filling the chopper, pushing it all from in the pen, and this is gonna look beautiful when it's all done. So it's all messy now. As you can tell, they love the fresh bedding. They've already laid down. That's a good sign. Goats make milk when they're comfortable. Comfortable, not hot, laying down. Just so anybody knows, a goat not panting, like that particular one, that black one just walked in front of me, that brown one right there. She's breathing calmly, she's laying down, and she's chewing her cud. That's the sign of making milk right there. If they're standing up in the corner, they're still making milk, but not top quality, good milk. All these ones that are nicely laying down, that's milk making right there. All right, now that we're done bedding, the one pen I needed to bed, that's all done. This pen's okay, it can wait till tomorrow. Excuse me. I don't need to bed every pen every day, and I like to spread it out, not doing it all the time, because that just makes for a lot of work one day, less work the next day. I like it to be consistent. So now that we're done bedding, as you can see, it's still a mess. That goat got back out again. I gotta blow it all right clean, and then we're ready to start with water and feed. Now that we got all the water buckets all cleaned out, all nice and clean, they're ready to be used to fill up with water. We're just gonna go check here and see how far they are with milking. Yep, everything's all spotless and clean. Now we're gonna start filling water buckets up and feeding. Little voice crack there. As you can see, they love it. Like the temperature on the water is somewhere around the 40 degrees Fahrenheit. About shower temperature, maybe a little bit colder. And they're just inhaling. Love it. And right now I'm feeding baleage. Now, baleage, this is the difference between baleage and dry hay is that, and silage is baleage is baled, but it's baled wet, and then we wrap it in plastic, and that seals it to keep oxygen from getting in the bale to cause mold. Now, as you can see, we have mold. Now we tube wrapped these bales, so they're wrapped bale to bale to bale. They're not individually wrapped, as in they're completely sealed individually. Just because of cost and storage ways, we went with the tube wrapping, and we had so many to do that it just made more sense to tube wrap. Back to the difference between baleage, dry hay, and silage. Silage depends on how you're doing it. Different silos, different techniques. There's different percentages of moisture. Generally with a bag, you're around the 60, 50, 70% moisture. Baleage, this particular stuff, we wanted between the 40 and 50%, which we nailed it. We just don't know why we're getting the odd moldy spot. Now, for those of you who know a little bit more, yes, this is very dark because this is red clover baleage. This is not Timothy and alfalfa, which is your typical horse hay, cattle hay. There's optimal ways to make feed, and you have to be very ingenuitive as to how you make it now, because our seasons are acting funny lately, and land is on short supply. As you all know, God quit making it years ago. So this is where we're at. And it's just frustrating when we have moldy spots randomly throughout the bale. So if any of you people know why, I will get a random moldy spot here and nowhere else. One here, one over there. The face, the top, the bottom of the bale, the round of the bale, I understand. I don't understand why I get a moldy spot randomly in the middle of a flake, of a wrap, sorry, of a wrap. And then when I go to the other side of the wrap, there will not be mold. It'll be in a different spot. So please, if anybody knows, is it my baler? Is it the material I'm baling that just does this? Somebody, help me. Gentlemen, we thank you for watching this video. Sorry for not showing you too much on how we feed the haylage. It's just the video is long enough as it is. You guys will be able to see that another time. Things are getting better with the baleage as we go anyways. Stay tuned for the next video. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please share with your friends. Take care, and God bless.